This is the BG Climbers list for the week ending 8/17/2022. This list is put together every week by Michael Alexander. I'll include links in the description below if you want to take a look at the list. Let's get into it. This week is going to be a lot of repeats from previous weeks, but I think some of the games are pretty interesting. So number 10 is Age of Atlantis. So I think we looked at this one last week. It had a pretty solid rating, and this week follows it up with a slightly higher new ratings at 8.18. So it's getting pretty solid ratings. I guess high enough for me to take a look at this one and see if it's interesting. I don't know, the weird futuristic Atlantis thing is a little bit unusual, but if it works in the game, it works in the game. This is number 10, Age of Atlantis. Number 9, Mindbug. So this one was a Kickstarter game. I believe it was designed by Richard Garfield. Yeah, co-designed by Richard Garfield and a few other folks. And this one, I really liked. I saw it a while ago. I really liked the artwork on it. I think that, I don't know, the colors and the art look just amazing on the cards. And I considered backing it, but I held out on it. And it's a smaller-ish card game that's for 2 players, so I think it, should be available later. It's not super complicated. It's, weight of 2.0, and, looks good, did well on Kickstarter, and I assume is going to be available in retail. I don't know for sure, but I would think it's going to come to retail. I mean, a small card game can't be that difficult to get out there. We'll have to see. I mean, it is a 2-player game. It is kind of lightish weight, so we may not be looking here at a top 100 game, but you never know. It's got at least one acclaimed designer behind it, and I think it looks good. So that is number 9, Mindbug. Number 8, Age of Galaxy. Age of Galaxy. Is it missing a the? I don't know. It's getting above 8s on its initial run. I assume this is a Kickstarter based on the rankings there. Let's see. Yeah, Kickstarter, 4X, tableau building. It's going to be 45 to 60 minutes. I don't know, a weight 3, 4X game at 45, 60 minutes. I got to think it's probably going to take a little bit longer than 60 minutes, but you never know. Strategy game in the line of Age of Civilization. This pocket-sized 4X game where you place you in the control of an intergalactic alliance that consists of 3 factions with unique powers. Okay. Pocket-sized, though. Really? Let's see. Okay, maybe not pocket-sized, but it's definitely like a small box. It's like tiny epic sizes. So, interesting. I mean, maybe it only takes 60 minutes. I don't know. Maybe the scale of the game also goes with that. I think it's cool that they were able to. I've always thought it was neat how compact the tiny epic games got for the amount of like stuff in there. So I do think that that's a draw, especially if you have a lot of games like myself. This one had, I guess it had a second box for all the deluxe stuff. Okay, let's see what the reviews say, or the comments at least on the reviews. Small game, it gets more, but it's more complicated than you think. Truly tiny, epic 4X game, yeah, I guess. While it's no TI4, it plays quickly. 4X in 30 minutes with lots of strategy. Feels a bit like 4X, but with very weird X's. So, I mean, it's getting pretty positive reviews. I think I want to see how this turns out. I mean, it doesn't look bad, and if it is a shorter playtime, that could be really appealing. Its size and its what looks to be pretty good components for the size box. And usually these smaller games, the nice thing is they are cheaper. So let's see this one. Maybe we'll see it in the future. Number 8, Age of Galaxy. Number 7, Marvel Dice Throne. So this one, I think there was some bug and it didn't show up for a little while, but it's clearly here now and has been for the last week. This game is available in retail. It's got picked up by Target, which I think is the first Marvel Dice Throne game that's been picked up by Target. Apparently, it's going to be available at Miniature Market for the same price. This is a typically 2v2 game where you're going to roll dice, and I mean, it does have these other modes, but most people play 2v2, or sorry, 1v1. Some people play 2v2 or 3v3 or 2v2v2 or a free-for-all. I think I've seen at conventions like these massive free-for-alls that they do take quite a long time to play. I feel like the times when I played this game, it really is best in a 1v1 scenario. I don't think I'd want to wait longer than, another person's turn. Also, if you're playing multiple players, it's really hard to think about all the stuff that could happen to you, or how you should best strategize with your turn. Since it's done by Roxley Games, if I remember right. Yeah, I think it's Roxley Games. The artwork is really amazing. I think the quality of the custom dice is great. I think the Marvel characters, everyone likes Marvel characters, or most people like Marvel characters that are also like board games. And I think the audience for this is just going to be really, really strong audience. I plan on picking up some version of this game, and hopefully my kids will have interest in it when they get a little bit older. So they're a little bit young to be playing a game with this much text on it. Although I guess, in theory, because I think most of it is open knowledge, I guess I could help them with it as we're playing. So, where do I think this game's going to land? I think this one has a really good shot of getting in the top 100. I think that a lot of people like Dice Throne. I think the Marvel thing just, amps it up a bit. And if it's not going to hit the top 100, it's probably, it's almost certainly going to be in the top 250, I think. So this is number 7, Marvel Dice Throne. Number 6, My Father's Work. So this one, I think they're doing another Kickstarter for this. Or at least it's available on the website, if not. This one did, have some like lower weeks. It got some amazing ratings, especially from Tom Vassell. I think when I watched the review, I said, well, I can see why he really likes the game, but it's probably not the game for me, so I'm glad I didn't end up backing this one. And I think it has potential to get in the top 100. Although the average is a little bit low at this point to have sustained high enough rating. If I was to guess, this feels like a top 250 game to me, but we'll see in the coming weeks, as I'm sure we'll see it on this list. This is number 6, My Father's Work. Number 5, Acropolis. So this one has come up a little bit in the last couple weeks. 8.07, 8.05 for the new average. Post-Gen Con, I guess. My gut feeling on this game is that it's still not coming in strong enough to really end up in the top 100. I don't think it's going to pick up, the ratings are going to pick up enough to get there. At this point, I'm going to have to say, best case, I think this is a top 500 game. So number 5, Acropolis. Number 4, Castles of Mad King Ludwig Collector's Edition. So, I feel like the palaces of Mad King Ludwig didn't do as well as the castles. Maybe it just got too complex. I usually only play castles on my phone on the plane, and just versus computers and stuff. But this is the 2 versions of the game plus the the base game plus the expansion plus some deluxe components and stuff. Maybe some, looks like, I don't know. Maybe it's just 3D printed things on here. Okay, yeah, it's the Royal Collector's Edition, kind of in the line of Suburbia, which I did end up picking up, although I kind of regret it's such a big box, and I don't know when I'm going to play Suburbia again, but here it is. This one probably isn't going in the top 100, I think just because it's a reprint, and I think a lot of people that that like the game are going to rate this really high, but I just don't know if it's going to get enough copies out there to get a separate spot on the top 100 by itself. Sometimes I even wonder if these really deserve its own edition of the game, but I guess this one, or its own like spot on the BGG list, but I guess it does in this case. So this is Castle Mad King Ludwig Royal Collector's Edition, or Collector's Edition. Number 4. Number 3, Oathsworn in the Deepwood. So this is certainly heading in the top 100. I mean, if it continues at this rate, this could be, a top 5 game. It could even potentially, given it's got 700 ratings, average of 9.3, and its new ratings are still in the mid-9s, this thing I feel like has potential that it could be the game that eclipses Gloomhaven. The ratings, it's going to probably fall off here eventually, but it is really surprising to see a game that gets up to 1,000 ratings with an average of 9.3. I don't know if I've ever seen this recently. Even Arc Nova, I don't think, accomplished this, and it was skyrocketing up the list. So, giving more fuel to that fire. It's going to have another Kickstarter. I don't know if they said this was a Kickstarter exclusive. That may limit it a little bit, and maybe that's going to prevent it from being in the top 1 or 2. But I assume if it's Kickstarter exclusive, it can also be sold directly from their web store. And if it's got decent availability there, maybe it's going to get enough copies. Anyway, I have a feeling I'm going to end up backing this somehow in the next Kickstarter just because it's a boss battler and the ratings are just so incredibly high, I don't see how I can. So number 3, Oathsworn into the Deepwood. Number 2, Mythic Mischief, which is a little bit hard to pronounce. So this one was a pretty big Kickstarter. A lot of people backed it. I considered backing it. I decided not to. I didn't think it was my type of game. And the ratings are coming in solid, but I don't think solid enough for a Kickstarter that's going to put it in the top 100. I think we're going to need a few more weeks to see exactly where it's going to land and how many ratings come out for this. But I'm pretty confident this is not going to end up in the top 100 at this point. Number 2, Mythic Mischief. And number 1, Cat in the Box Deluxe Edition, which is I guess it's a fun idea that I would really like to play once. I don't feel like it's a game I need to own because I don't like trick-taking games that much, excluding there's 2, but Crew, which is just an amazing game. It's hard to believe that a trick-taking game could be that fun, but it is. It is really quite an amazing game, and I didn't even believe it when people said that this game is this good. But I assume everyone listening to this has tried it, but if you haven't, try the Crew or the Crew Mission Deep Sea. Anyway, Cat in the Box is, I guess, part of the trick-taking revival, and this is a quantum trick-taking game playing on the quantum uncertainty or something with that, or maybe they just went with that because everyone knows about Schrodinger's cat. Anyway, it's doing pretty well. So, like I said, I'm interested in playing this and just seeing what it's like. So, there you have it. That is the BG Climbers list for the week ending 8/17/2022. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe. And please take a look at our other videos. Thank you.